Where in the world have the San Francisco 49ers gone? We discuss that on DJ Football next. It is DJ Football. He's Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network. I'm Ryan Brown. The show is presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round. MyBookie.ag. Code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. And with code next round, you get 110% sign-on bonus. That is free money from MyBookie.ag. What's up, DJ? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. What's happening?
Not a whole lot. I don't think I anticipated the San Francisco 49ers having a two-game losing streak anywhere within this season. They've done it the last 2 weeks at Cleveland and at Minnesota. That's maybe even places I would never have expected it.
Yeah, I think the Cleveland thing, because of the defense that they had and the way that defense had been playing, they'll be in a fight there. They'll probably win, but it'll be a fight. This one took me off guard a little bit. I thought their defensive front would be able to dominate the game. I thought offensively, with how aggressive Minnesota likes to play with Brian Flores, I thought they'd be able to cash in some big plays on the other side of things. And it just didn't happen. So, I give Kirk Cousins a lot of credit for the Vikings for the way he played without Justin Jefferson and what he was able to accomplish. But I think it is time that it's fair to say, okay, what are some of the weaknesses? What are some of the holes with this team that we thought was pretty complete?
Yeah, and obviously now injury has played a part in it. You were without both Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey for a lot of the Cleveland game. McCaffrey came back for the Minnesota game. You're still down Deebo Samuel. So injury has contributed.
Justin Jefferson did not play in that game. So that's why I will not hear anything from Niner, because I've seen that Niner fans, we weren't whole. I'm like, they were missing the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, if anything, it was even. Yeah. If anything, it was even. So, you can put a little of this on injury, but it can't be the whole thing. So what has gone wrong the last 2 weeks?
Well, I think it's interesting. I think, you look at the way that they were played this week specifically. It is, and I saw this Vikings team doing the Chargers games and going out there and seeing them in person. They are going to they're going to take away the run and they're going to rush the passer with that front. They're playing with 5 guys down. They play with a traditional off the ball backer and then a nickel backer. But it is they're playing gaps and they are going to get heavy pressure, heavy blitz. I think they feel like they only have Danielle Hunter. They don't really have another true pass rusher, so they're going to win with numbers. Well, the Chargers got out of there with a win because Keenan Allen wore him out. He caught a zillion balls and, they left him out there one-on-one and he was able to win. I look at this 49er team and I'm thinking, man, they don't really have a way. They have a ton of talent, but they don't have a way to pay off and make you pay for that aggressive approach. In other words, like, you want to come up there and play us like that? Okay, well, then you're going to have to deal with us hitting home run balls over the top. And that's not really kind of what they do. Or, we have a pristine route runner that we're going to just single up. We'll go 3-by-1 and we'll leave him alone. And like the Charger game where it was Byron Murphy one-on-one, poor guy, with Keenan Allen the whole day, and they wore him out. The Niners don't really have that guy. And so it's interesting when you look at the timing of it, Ryan, like, we've got a trade deadline coming up, and this is a Niners team last year that went bold and went out and got Christian McCaffrey. If you look at the picks that they have, they're loaded with extra picks. I mean, multiple 3s, 4s, 5s. They got tons of picks. So they also have the most salary cap space of any team in the league, believe it or not. So I think they have to do something. I think they've got to go out, whether that is a Jerry Jeudy, whether that's a Hollywood Brown, just some other element, some speed element, somebody that can make teams pay for playing the way the Vikings paid against them.
I mean, just think about what you just said, though. So they traded picks to get into a position to make a first-round quarterback pick that they completely whiffed on, it. And they're still in this kind of shape. I mean, like, that's a Haley's Comet in the NFL, that you're able to trade a lot of capital to draft a quarterback you completely miss on, and you're still in great shape. I mean, like, you don't see that happen very often.
No, but it speaks to the depth of the roster, because a lot of those extra picks are going to be comp picks. So they've had so much roster depth. They've had guys leave, sign elsewhere, for good money deals, and they're able to then recoup some picks. So they're in a great spot to be able to fortify this roster, which I think we all thought was as good a roster as there is in the league. But I think we're seeing, maybe there's one little missing ingredient there, maybe just a little bit more juice, another, haymaker that you can throw on the outside to complement all your other guys.
I want to ask about Brock Purdy and the quarterback situation in a moment. A reminder, DJ Football presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. That gets you that 110% sign-on bonus. It is free money. You bet it right away. Win once, it is yours forever. Not something you got to bet like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Just one time, and it is yours forever if you win. MyBookie.ag. Code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Use code next round for that 110% sign-on bonus. Also presented by Manscaped. Manscaped.com. And they got a lot of great products there. Which was the one you were wanting? You were wanting the weed whacker, right?
I want to add to the collection. I've got the one for the face, but now I need to expand the collection here.
Yeah, you've got the Handyman, the compact face shaver. It's easy to travel with. You can also get the beard hedger. It's got the adjustable guard, so the guard won't pop off. DJ is talking about the weed whacker, takes care of the ear hair and the nose hair, so you don't look like some old man that's all unkempt. And then there's the lawnmower that takes care of the body and the undercarriage there. You can get all those boxer shorts, body care products at manscaped.com. If you watch this show, you're going to get a nice little bonus here, DJF20 at manscaped.com, DJF20, and you get 20% off your initial order. Just order all of it and get 20% off and save that.
Get the whole package.
Get the whole package. You can do that. Manscaped.com, DJF20 for 20% off your first order. So you know how this works in the NFL. You've seen it with your own two eyes. A quarterback comes in, he makes that first lap around the league, and teams still don't have maybe not enough film on him. They haven't seen him in person. You start making that second lap, and it gets a little easier on these defensive coordinators. Are you seeing any differences in the way teams defend Brock Purdy now that they've got a good amount of film on him, or maybe they're facing him for the second time around?
You know, I don't know that it's been a pattern that you've seen over the last couple of weeks. They play defense very differently in Cleveland than they do in Minnesota. So they were both effective in keeping the score down. Still, though, at the end of that game last week, he marches them down the field and Moody misses a game-winning field goal. And we're probably not talking about this in terms of a panic situation for the Niners. But this last week, I thought he played pretty well, Ryan. I went back to the tape and I watched it and I'm like, okay, he's on time. The ball's where it needs to go. He's throwing the ball accurately. He was, his consistency numbers with his accuracy and completion percentage was very high, very efficient. He had the 2 picks. Well, you break them down individually. The first one, I believe, was Jennings, has got a dig cut. And when you have a quarterback like Brock Purdy, who's not a strong arm power thrower, he throws with timing and anticipation. And it's a zone coverage. He's got a dig route, which if you're in zone coverage and you got a dig route, there's no reason to make a move on air. You're not trying to separate from anybody to lean and nod and get a little cute at the top of your route. Just get there. This is zone. Just get to the spot. So Purdy's ready to throw it to get to the spot, and he's given a little lean to the outside, and it just kind of jacked up the whole timing. It looked weird when you watched it on tape. I tend to put that a little bit more on the wide out than on him. And then the last one, now he's trying to do too much at the end of the game, ends up throwing into some traffic there as they have to get down and score a touchdown. Time's kind of the essence there. I thought he forced that one, but I think it's a little overboard to say, wow, the league's figured out Brock Purdy and he's struggling, and maybe he's the 7th round pick that we thought he was coming out. Nah, he still played at a high level. Yeah,
I mean, ultimately the league figures everybody out, right? It's just can you take what you figured out and A, put it into a plan that can stop the quarterback, or B, keep a step ahead of a great offensive mind like Kyle Shanahan. I mean, it's not as if Kyle Shanahan doesn't make adjustments either, right? I mean, he knows that his quarterback's on film, and he's got to try to stay a step ahead of these guys.
Well, I think last year they kind of did a self-audit around this time and said, we need something else. We're missing something. They go out and get Christian McCaffrey. They didn't lose a game once he came in there. Obviously, Purdy being in the lineup coincided with that. But I would not be surprised if they do the same thing this year and they kind of audit this. And in my opinion, just my own personal opinion, I feel like they need somebody with some real juice on the outside to mix in with what they already have. So we'll see what they end up doing. I just know that in a league where the Eagles have already made their move and Byard going out and getting the safety from Tennessee to kind of shore up one of their issues, it feels, we've been saying this every week on here, right? That's an inevitable collision that we're heading towards, and it's an arms race to some degree. I just can't see the 49ers sitting on their hands.
Give me the type of player you're talking about. You're not saying the 49ers may go trade for this guy. You can if you want to, but give me the type of player you're talking about that they should add.
Yeah, I just think it's a field stretcher. It's somebody that can take the top off of a defense, and that's why. And I'm, we'll see who's available. Everybody, there's a lot of names out there, but we don't know exactly who is available. I just think of a guy like Hollywood Brown, who's a little undersized but can really go. He can take the top off the defense. I think about maybe you add somebody like Jerry Jeudy, who people have talked about being available. Yep. And then while not necessarily a traditional take the top off player, Mike Evans, if somehow Tampa was, they haven't been able to work things out there. If that was something that became an option, he doesn't have to, beat you by running away from you down the field. He's going to pluck the ball off your head down the field. So he's still, the same thing gets accomplished. It just looks a little bit different. But I don't know. It just feels like to me, they're just missing one more little piece there. And it feels like to me that's on the outside.
All right, it's DJ Football presented by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie.ag. Code next round to get that 110% sign-on bonus. Free money from MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Also, Manscaped.com. All the great products there. And for watching this show, you get 25% off your initial order at Manscaped.com when you use code DJF20. DJF20 for all you DJ football watchers. You get 20% off at manscaped.com. It is DJ Football with Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network.